There are no NPCs. I'm going to show you why in the way that I see things. I call this infinite mechanics. So later I'm going to make beautiful art where it's going to be personified, but right now we're going to do this. So these are two people. There you can see is a seed that's already sprouting, and this seed only has roots, right? And when someone has roots, which is everyone, it means that you exist, you're alive, right? So you have roots and you have a little seed. So these are symbolic, remember? Okay. So this person goes to this person and they have an experience. I'm going to talk about why someone might think that this is an NPC. They're going to be like, what's going on here? So this person, the way that they've lived life, they either got opportunities or they have some parts of who they are, their infinity inside them. They have parts of them that already knew how to do these things. And like I said, doesn't mean this person's like amazing and perfect and like this one's not or any other ones. It's that they had a situation where they started out having all these things. So I'm showing the most extremes. So this person, they explored this layer of themselves, they explored this layer of themselves, and they continued, right? And when you keep going, eventually you get to a point where it starts to like nourish yourself. Remember, it's not actually like this. He doesn't look like this. It's just, this is the way to explain something that doesn't, it's hard to explain. And so this nourishes this, and this starts sprouting, which is your infinite connection. This is who you truly are. This is what you have to bring to the table. This is what makes you special. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter, right? So we all have origins. We're all one, as everyone always says conveniently, but they forget about this part. They forget that when they talk about these things. And the way that they do this is because of what other humans have said. So that's why I'm just going to keep it clean. Okay, so that's this one, right? This one is someone who has only done the outer layers, meaning they are constantly susceptible to programs, so which we all are, by the way, but they accept the programs as their own. They think that those are like what all there is. So they love everything outside. They have no idea. They think that by having opinions, that's enough, because opinions usually are programs. And the way to know if it's an opinion, if it's about you within, you'll know because someone has told you that. Like, that's how you know the difference. It's not something that deep inside that comes from feeling. It only is that. So you will stay here as long as you don't mix it with what you really think. So you won't do that. Some people complain and they have these programs and it's not their fault, and they're put in a position or a country or a culture or a family where they can't do anything about this layer. They can't, because everyone around them is keeping them there. And so when they come across someone like this, sometimes this person has what I call compassion layers. They might not, and they might. Compassion layers means that this person didn't just explore within, they also explored how each of these layers that they explored, like let's say this was about things that they ignored about themselves, where they always left themselves behind and they would just help others instead of other people, right? I mean, instead of themselves. They didn't include themselves in it. So let's say that's what something they learned and then they went to the next layer. That I'm just oversimplifying, but let's say that's what happened. These people didn't just do it, they also found a way to help other people when there's a time. So this person will never forget how it feels, and they will always, if someone seeks this or they even sense it, they're going to always know this, right? Now, if someone doesn't do that and they just work within like this and they go through the layers, sometimes when you do that, you take programs with you. And these programs are usually kind of language and structures and stuff like that. So even if they're really exploring and they're doing it, like let's say they do shadow work, they do all these things that someone told them to do, it's still good and you're still exploring yourself and you're still nourishing yourself, but there's still systems, there's still human systems. and they are not systems that you created from your experiences. So you will not have compassion layers. These will only be your layers. So when you see this person, even though instead of, even though you see them as an NPC, you're not seeing that this person, like, it's either this person has whatever this is, you don't have any compassion layers, or you don't have any, right? And so you will see this person as an NPC, and that you can't do anything. You might think they have bad vibes or whatever, which means that you can sense that they have traumas here, but you don't have any compassion layers that work with this. Sometimes none of this needs to happen. Sometimes this person can literally just sit there, and it will help this person. But if this person doesn't have boundaries, this can hurt this person, because they haven't, that means there's a layer inside them where they literally, like I said, they didn't work on it, and people keep coming to them. And that's more complicated. That's usually for sessions and stuff like that. But this model that I want to show you guys is just to show you how this works. So this person and this person can be suffering in different ways. They don't make each other blah, blah, blah. Now, this is the part this is why the infinite mechanics of why people would say or think someone is an NPC. They're correct. But it's not that someone is, it's that they haven't had the opportunity. You know, when people talk about being ableist and that you're not allowed, I mean, that someone says like, oh, you're, like you're disabled and blah, blah, blah. It's not even that they're not born this way. It's that the opportunities that have happened in their life are that way. Now, that doesn't mean that this one can do the same thing. Both of these people, even though this one has all these layers they've explored, they can also be an NPC for this one or others. And when I say NPC, I mean they become a puppet. So from whoever's point of view is looking at this, some people might say, oh, like, from a human's point of view, they might think and see this situation and say like, oh, they're a puppet permanently, or, oh, I feel like I'm being a puppet because my energies are blah, 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 doing this and coming through me to do this. But actually, it can be a beautiful thing if you look at it from a bigger point of view. This human, if they all of a sudden don't have any compassion layers of this, they could become, like I said, an NPC. They might do something that is maybe, one of the traumas that were in here before for this person. So a lot of people say NPCs are there to help people with their experiences. But sometimes, even if you are healed, in quotes, because you have tools, it doesn't mean you're like, it's gone. And this person hasn't got to know that layer. So even though they've gotten to know it enough that they learn something about themselves, it means they don't have a relationship. So this person still can be used as a puppet from their own energy to help this other person. It could be another person another one that's here as well. It doesn't matter who it is. They don't have to be an NPC. It could be anybody. So if you think about it, it's basically, and it's not like creepy. It's just to help the other one. You connect with something that you don't know about or that you have struggles with. So a lot of people think of this as possession. Like they say, oh, if you're weak, you're going to blah, blah, blah. But I don't see it that way. I see the honor in it. And like I said, you can become more aware. You can say, oh, well, I don't want to help this person. Those are the boundary things I talked about. Now, there are creepy energies that do take advantage of this. And the way they take advantage of this is from us not being aware. So even though they're taking advantage, we need to see this process as a beautiful process, that sometimes we help each other and play certain parts. And we need to see this for what it really is. Because if we're doing that, no creepy energies can do that. And those creepy energies need help as well. It's like being addicted to something, like a gambler or something like that. They have a problem too. So you help them by doing this as well. So I hope that helps. And I wanted to put this out there because every time I see a trend coming back and it has to do with what I am helping people with, I'm like, I try and find new ways to do this. So I hope that helped. Have a nice